What's up, gamers, and welcome to the Communism Podcast. We've been wanting to do this one for a while, haven't we, Kat?
Yeah,
Long awaited.
God, I love the communism rant.
We were literally planning this since episode 1, weren't we?
Yeah. No, we explicitly talked about this in episode 1.
Communism Podcast. Also,
Mhm.
I know I'm the only person on planet Earth who cares about this, but it's just so annoying to me. That book is still there. I haven't been able to finish it.
It's
so long. It's so long. I have like
eat shit.
1.5 chapters left, and then I'm done. And then I'm done with the January 6th report. 1.5 chapters left, and I'm through it, and I can move on to Five Nights at Freddy's Book 8.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Okay, look. The book is, like, good, but it's kind of repeating itself. It was very educational at first. At first, it just told you the craziest shit. At first, it told you, like, they were put a noose outside, and they were 40 feet away from Mike Pence, and they were screaming, "Hang Mike Pence," and you're like, holy shit, that's so close. I can't believe I didn't know that. And then at the end, they're like, and Donald Trump told people to go, and it's like, yeah, I know that. You should have, like, you should have put that at the beginning and saved the crazy shit for the end, in my opinion, but, you know.
I mean, okay. I think a little crazy, then kind of be normal, and then go crazy again at the end.
Yeah, at the end, it's just, like, very, very, like, shit you already... You know what I know? You want to know what's not in there, what should be in there? Because I was waiting for it. This is something a lot of people don't know, because the liberal media doesn't want to talk about it.
The liberal media.
Dude, somebody during the protest went in one of the offices and took a shit.
That is extremely funny.
And no, why is it not in the book? They should. It's not in. I'm like 500 and something pages in,
Unhinged
and it's not in there.
motherfuckers.
Maybe it's in there, because there's still a little bit left. There's still like for audio listeners.
The last line,
like that much.
And then a Republican neo-Nazi took a shit.
I actually did see the last line because I kept like looking at the last page, like I'm gonna get to this at some point. And then because my eyes are too curious, they wandered down to the bottom, and I saw the last sentence of the book is, and then Joe Biden was what, I don't know, something like Joe Biden.
And then Joe Biden.
Then Joe Biden
Full
over.
Stop.
It basically said then Joe Biden became the next president. Is what it said. That was, and then the book over.
That's actually a good ending.
It's
that
pretty.
Makes sense.
It's pretty fire. Honestly, it's pretty fire. All I'm saying is when I'm finished with that, when I'm finished with all that shit that it took me so long, it took me months. I've been reading it since December. When I'm finished with it, and then I get to the very end, and it says, and then Joe Biden was certified as the 46th president of the United States of America. I'll be like, holy shit, that was a sick last line.
Whoa, holy shit.
I think the book's like 3 stars, to be honest. It's 3 stars, because it is really educational, but it's also just a lot to get through.
That's fair, that's fair.
Pages are just so big. You want to know...
Yeah.
Want to know what happened?
The print size?
So you know how primaries work, right, Ken?
Do I?
Different states elected different primary candidates. And then...
I think that's familiar, yeah.
So the first state elected in someone as their primary who isn't Trump or Biden.
Oh?
Washington, D.C. elected in Republican Nikki Haley as their primary. And it's really funny because it's like, it's one, right? Trump still has it for sure. He's gonna win the Republican primary. But he was like so salty about it. It was really funny.
I think it's really funny to see like what Trump has done to the entire right wing, since it's kind of fractured it between people that actually hold those beliefs and people that like being part of a cult.
Yeah. Yeah, like as stroke having Mitch McConnell says, there are 2 types of Republicans. MAGA Republicans, as I like to call them, and MAGA Republicans. That's what he said. What?
Okay, actually, can I talk about the funniest shit to me?
Go ahead.
I only know this because like I'm not involved in politics, but a lot of my family is, and so like, my dad was mentioning something
Like
about
me,
how
I'm family.
like Mitch McConnell stepped down,
Yes, he
and
did.
that is the funniest thing to me, because like that is like the only thing, like that is the biggest thing that stopped us from making progress, and everyone cheered. Just some it's like, no,
Yeah,
why are
no, no
Republicans
one
cheering? That
liked. No,
this guy is on your side. This is the only reason why Trump isn't in jail.
no, dude. Republicans hate him because he is okay. Like when it comes to like when you look at old people and you go, that guy is old. Like Joe Biden's
Hmm.
up at the top for you look at him and go, he's old. Mitch
That guy's
McConnell
old.
was above that, and it really pissed them off. They're like, he's too old, get him out. He's having strokes on stage. They hated him. And everything he stood for was uber Republican. You're right. They should have loved him, but
Hmm.
they didn't.
Like, because I believe the biggest thing that, like, from my understanding, like the biggest thing is because he left because he was done supporting Trump.
Um,
Well,
he didn't support Trump for a while because Trump hated him. When everyone was like
mm,
stand down, Trump was like, yeah, get that bitch down. Um,
well, like
he's not even
this
down
dude
yet.
saved Trump's ass.
Technically, McConnell isn't out yet. He'll be out in November is when he leaves. So
Like,
he's still in there
because
now, but he announced that he'll be leaving in
you see,
November.
I'm kind of excited to see what happens because this means that like things are gonna start happening again in terms of like actual progress.
I hope,
Things
dude. You know what's
can like legitimately get better.
what? Yeah, I don't I'm worried about like I don't know why, but I had like the slightest like for the whole election, right? I was thinking Trump and Biden are gonna win the primaries. When Nikki Haley won that one state, I was thinking, what would happen if she won? And then I thought about it. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, she would probably win over Biden, to be honest with you, because
Hmm.
people don't like Biden. They don't.
Hmm.
People don't like Trump. According to polls, people like Trump a little bit more. But
Hmm.
according to my personal experience, because I look at those polls and I go, what the fuck? I think that people,
Hmm.
I don't know, because like,
I feel like anecdote isn't the most reliable way to judge that, just because like you know such a small sample of the population.
well, it's
You
not
know,
like my way of thinking of it is this. First off, we already tried Trump versus Biden. Biden won. So though, like, according to 2020, people like Biden more. Time has
I mean,
passed.
I think it's because we're fresh off the atrocities of Trump. Went, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, but the thing is here's the issue: is the economy like prices are high, not because of Biden, but they are, and people don't like that. They go, oh shit, they're high. Well, I don't want that guy in again. However,
Hmm.
Trump has been losing his fucking mind and going to court case after court case, so he's not looking too great either.
Hmm.
So
You see, one thing I've actually. Oh, sorry. Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, my personal biases aside, it
Hmm.
is honestly pretty even. There's a good chance that both of
Hmm.
them could win. In my opinion, there's a good
Hmm.
chance that both
That
of them could
honestly,
win.
that thought is kind of scary. One thing that I am actually quite interested to see. This is the thing that I was mentioning when like discussing this with my dad, but like there was a mention of like in like he's being tried in Georgia specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And in Georgia law, if he were elected, if he were already there, they could not legally pardon him until like 5 years after his entire term is spent. So what happens if he wins but is also found guilty in Georgia and has to be put in jail?
You can be president from jail,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny. It will be the first time it has ever happened. People have run from jail.
Mm-hmm.
But no, one person has, Eugene Debs.
Mm. The
Um,
Socialist Party one?
yeah, the Socialist Party. That
Yeah.
he's gotten the highest a Socialist Party candidate has ever gotten. Not in jail. It was he ran a different time and got six
He
percent.
ran, then was put in jail for going for saying that hey, war bad, but you could be telling soldiers to defect, and you don't stand for what we want you to stand for, so you go in jail now.
Yeah, bro took one for the team too. He could have. There were tons of people with him, and he was like, It's me, guys. Just take me, which was pretty epic. Dude, I hate I got out of the pool and it makes my hair look really short. It's not poofy because it's chlorine soaked and I hate it.
L.
It looks non-poofy.
L. Eat shit.
Anyway.
Speaking of communism.
Where did that come? What do you mean, speaking of communism?
Because it's the communism episode.
I know, but like that never got mentioned. That hasn't been mentioned yet. I was kind of thinking like, okay, I need to bring up communism.
Speaking of communism.
My hair's wet. Speaking of communism. Right. Go on.
Yeah, that's just like communism.
Go on.
The literal only reason why communism cannot work is because we live in a nation that is founded upon greed, and that
That's
greed
what I
inherently
said.
gets in the way of us transitioning to it.
That's what I
Literally, the
said.
entire point of like, because we could go to socialism, but socialism isn't really meant to stand on its own. It's meant to be an in-between between capitalism and communism.
Right.
The biggest issue is, I am a communist. I believe communism is the best way for things to work, and I believe in an ideal society it does work. That is what we do. The problem is that at a larger scale, it's hard to do this in a way that doesn't corrupt. And while I think AI could get us closer by making it so jobs aren't really necessary, and there isn't really a need to enforce anything because we have an objective, this is correct, this is how you enforce it, this is the correct way to distribute things, that isn't the most reliable, and I feel like in my mind, it's idealistic, but at the same time, people are so paranoid about technology due to movies and general pop culture that they wouldn't really give it the chance because, oh, but isn't trusting technology to do things for us kind of dystopian? It's like, I mean, yeah, if you make them murdery,
All
they're
I'm
gonna be
saying-
murdery, so just don't defect.
All I'm saying is, my phone, Pokemon Go asked for my location. I don't know about you, but this is some Skynet ass shit.
Okay.
Why does Pokemon
here's
Go
the
need to
thing
know where
that-
I am?
This is one thing that absolutely pisses me the fuck off.
Pokemon Go to the
but
polls, more like
having
Pokemon Go to
ha-
Skynet. Sorry, continue.
Having people describe any form of technological evolution as Skynet bullshit, it's like, this is gonna corrupt all of society because technology is advancing, and I'm scared of technology because the movie said, "Oh, but your phone's gonna fucking skewer you."
It's not even what happens.
Shut the fuck up.
It's not even what happened. Most of the time, people are like, this is like Skynet. It's like, this is nothing like the Terminator. In any way, is this anything like Skynet from the Terminator series?
I fucking despise people that are like scared of technology because of pop culture. That is like
Dude,
actually my
Terminator doesn't even, like, that Skynet doesn't even make sense. Like, you see Samsung fridge has, like, the temperature on it. That's Skynet! What do you mean? Where's the guns? Where's the liquid metal? I don't understand.
Actually, that does remind me of this one thing I saw technology-wise. I believe there's this material. I forget what it's called. If you're on the YouTube and you can comment, please tell me, because I do
Please
not
tell
know.
her,
I just remember this
YouTube
being
gamers.
really, really cool.
Or anything
But it was
else. Can you comment
It was
on
like this material where when you put it in a certain form, when it takes damage, you can like, I forget what the process was, but you do something to it and it just like retakes form because it remembers what it looks like.
Bro got the regain bro got the, holy shit, wait,
But it's like,
regeneration
it's metal.
potion?
It's metal.
I don't know my
But it
metals.
can reform.
Uranium? I don't know what metals are, to be honest with you.
Because I believe it was like,
Yo, Class of 09 and 3 other games are on
And
sale.
I
Fuck
feel
yeah.
I feel like it might have been like an alloy because it's not a pure.
Yo,
If that's not what an
Fresh
alloy
Women
is, an alloy
Season
is a
1.
mixture. Fuck.
Kat, can I play Fresh Women Season 1 on the podcast?
No.
It looks really cool.
Okay.
Yo, look, they're doing a fist bump.
I'm trying to think of like what are other notes to mention with like communism stuff.
You could just, okay, well, see, with the communism, like, it would be a good and ideal society thing. See, most capitalists that I know do agree with that. Most capitalists that I know are like, oh yeah, in an ideal society, but we're not in an ideal society. And then they go on a rant on why capitalism is perfect, and it's like, okay, that's where we disagree.
You see, I feel like genuinely capitalism is the worst possible system we could use.
I feel like
actually.
Like, I feel like it's weird. I feel like it seems like it'd work. And then
Here's the problem, right? Early stage capitalism, very fun. You get to do things. You have so much control.
yeah,
You get to do whatever
early
you want.
stage, it's
Then,
great.
here's the thing. Longevity, right? What happens when there's no more things to own?
Right. Yeah, like notice how people like weren't really complaining about it in like the 1590s and the 1600s is because like capitalism was kind
Hmm.
of cool back then. Dare I say,
Hmm.
capitalism was pretty sick.
Hmm.
But now we
Because
have
we
like
are currently in a
megacorps.
late stage hellscape
Now we
where,
yeah.
yeah, no, the only way for them to get more money is to pay people less, make things cost more, and funnel more and more money into CEOs for looking pretty and taking the blame when they fuck up.
Exactly. The cool thing about the ideal society would be like I feel like if once everything is less big corpy, right?
Hmm.
You could be like when a big greedy motherfucker walks into a supermarket, like everything would be like privately owned. So he goes in there, he's like, I want to buy food and I want to buy everything in the store. They can just be like, no, get the fuck out. You're not gonna.
Hmm. You see, okay, here's one thing that I actually like thought about a lot. It's very unrealistic. I admit that. This is
Oh, go on.
very
This is
optimistic.
the we don't
But
belong here podcast. We
mhm,
don't we
one
talk.
thing I thought about a lot is like if we replace all jobs with tech. So we use AI, and
I've
then
thought
the
about that.
unemployment rate
That
goes
would
up to like
that would be an ideal
50%.
society. That would be perfect.
Here's the thing. There is a point when there is not enough work for people to fill. And at that point, that's when revolutions happen. That is when we get to go, hey, we have spent, there is no more money to be handed out. All of the jobs are being handled. It's very efficient, but give us money or we'll kill you.
Yeah, I think that if here's the issue.
Okay, actually, if we, with the like mechanical like revolution thing, that would actually give us an excuse to like raid, like have thousands raiding the house of like Elon Musk to take his head.
Here's the thing is like I feel like there would need to be some form of work because I feel like people and this sounds like the most
Hmm.
capitalist thing you're ever gonna hear. I don't mean it like you need to work to death to feel purpose, but I do feel like you need to be
Hmm.
working in some
No, I
way.
do actually agree.
Yeah,
I
to
do
to
legitimately
feel
agree.
purpose. So
Here's the thing. I don't. I think we should ideally, with how this develops, in my vision, people do not work because they have to. People work because it is fun. People like maybe like say for
yep.
example,
AI movies. No
there
more
are
of
places
those.
that are literally designed to make perfect coffee. They know how to do it exactly. We're using machinery for this, and they're still baristas because there are people that have a passion for that.
Right.
If you want art of something, you can just snap your fingers and have it, or you can
Right.
tell an artist to do it because you're bored and you want to like interact with the person to be, hey, you know how you can do this thing? Do that thing for me. Okay, yeah, I have
Right.
an open
And
schedule.
money wouldn't even matter. You
In an
could use
ideal society, money is irrelevant.
and there could be even if you feel like you want to get paid, it's like, well, I am taking time out of that. Like you could get paid in other means. Like, okay, you want
Hmm.
I need some sort of payment for this. You make bread. How about you give me
Hmm.
2 loaves of bread if I draw your little
Hmm.
silly cat people having
Or
sex?
even like it's just an inherent like services. If every need is automatically fulfilled, there's not really a reason to need anything from anyone, and so it's more so just,
Right.
yeah, I do this because it feels good.
I want to make a
Like,
reference
yeah.
to the OG podcast, the CJE podcast, Chicken J Entertainment podcast that had Wesley on it years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We would do sippies, or I would. All the
Mm-hmm.
time, I would just go,
Hell yeah.
and then I'd choke really hard and drink again. And then this guy made me choke really hard because my friend Eddie at the time was on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was drinking it, and he was like, I like how you started dying in the cup, and then you went back to dying. And that's just the funniest way I've ever heard something like that worded.
Yeah.
So, I
Hell
like
yeah.
how you were dying in the cup and then went back to
I'm trying to
dying.
remember like
What you were talking about? You were talking about big
no,
corp
because I know I'm
technology.
like on the communism point, but I'm trying to think if like there's any other talking points that I want to highlight more that are like interesting.
Yeah, this is the podcast where you can go
Because like
off.
I remember actually specifically like when we were like talking in like the poly, uh I remember like I had a paper I had to write for like one of my college classes.
Yeah.
And so like it was like it wasn't that much. It was like five like 500 words or something, like 1,000 words, not that much. And I was bored, so I wrote a 1,500 word rant on communism because I was bored
That's so
and was
cool.
mad that like other people were like, I don't like people that say they're communists because they're like fucking like Leninists or Stalinists, and like those aren't communists.
Yeah, again, like I've said this
Fucking
so many
Stalinism is
times.
closer to capitalism
I've said
than
that's what I was about to
communism.
say. I so many times like, yeah, no, he didn't like kill socialists as a hobby or anything. Nah, that was like a lot. Yeah, no, bro was not a communist. Um, what was Guns say? What the
Hmm?
fuck was I gonna say? Fucking capital. Right. Do you want to know one of the worst things for capitalism?
What?
Lawyers. I genuinely think
Hmm.
that has attributed to the worst of capitalism. Because the fact that you can be in this society, it's like, oh, well, monopolies are illegal. Right, well, if you're rich as fuck, you can buy an awesome lawyer, and boom. I
Hmm.
do not believe that the way that lawyers work should be legal. I don't think you should be able to pay more money, you have a better chance of getting off.
I
Like
mean,
lawyers
okay.
should work for the government, all of them, and have
Hmm.
the same pay rates, and you just get a random lawyer.
I would actually. That's fair. I think it's more so. It's like I think it should be in arguing for the absolute fairest of the law, and
Right.
even that's like. I think in general that's not even like a lawyer's defecting thing. That's just part of how capitalism works. Is
Yeah.
like. It's not that the lawyers are defecting, it's that they change the rules of the game to be easier for them.
You wanna, this is like a really funny point you're gonna hear. You wanna know what I'll give to Trump?
What?
His lawyer's ass. He didn't pay for a good lawyer. I'll give that to him.
Mm,
Dude, the lawyer he bought, he must have only got her because she was hot. That literally has to be the only reason.
hmm.
Did you
From
see?
what I
You
understand, the
saw?
biggest thing is it's not even that his lawyer team is bad. It's that he repeatedly and notoriously self sabotages every
Yes.
chance they give him.
He went out there in the middle of the court case when they were on lunch. He went out there in front of cameras. I'm going to show this to you at some point, maybe even after,
Hmm.
because I might get my phone tonight.
Hmm.
And he went outside on lunch and was like, "It's the worst left-wing judge ever." It's like you're in the middle of the case. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you going out there and bullying the judge? Honestly, look, I hate Trump, but I love him.
Hmm.
He's awesome.
I feel like it's like this man is a living pinata.
The fact that he had lived, like he exists, is so funny that I love it.
Hmm.
And what
I
else was
think
I
it's
gonna
the
say
fact that
about
like
him?
this
Yeah,
man is, huh? What is it?
his lawyer, the woman. You want to know what she brought? Did you hear that she brought a gaming laptop? She brought a
That is
gaming laptop.
extremely
Dude,
funny.
she was there in the courtroom. You can zoom in and see the Alienware logo on the back of her laptop.
Okay, to be fair though, it's a really big case. You need to be able to
Okay.
store all those files.
Look, it might not have been Alienware. I'm actually not sure. I just wanted to be able to attribute to the funnies. But it was like, it
A
was like,
gaming laptop with like RGB lights.
yeah, it was like it was exactly, yeah. It was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
It was very, it was very obviously a gaming laptop.
Mm-hmm. No, that's extremely funny. I adore the energy of that.
I'd bring a gaming laptop. I mean, it doesn't work it works better. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be faster, but it just looks so unprofessional, and it's really. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I look. I acknowledge that if it was like, if it was someone on my side, like if it was the like people who were trying to prosecute Trump with the gaming laptop, I would be standing them and being like, "That's awesome." So I'm not making fun of her too hard here. I know she
Mm-hmm.
isn't very
Okay, here's the
good.
thing though.
I
Here's
think
the
it's
thing
awesome
though.
personally.
Right-wing people care so much more about trying to act professional
Yeah.
than people that are like on like the left wing. Just because like I feel like a lot of us are kind of like at the point of like, because here's the thing. People that are on the right wing are often in the upper percentiles. Usually you get there by being cutthroat and acting like you're
Wow.
professional as a mask
You,
to not, before you sabotage them.
It's funny. I was thinking like, wow, this podcast is really political. I'm like, it's the communist podcast. What the fuck did I think? Also, like,
As for people that are on the left wing are usually workers who are taking the brunt of all the bullshit that capitalists push on us because they have privilege that we don't.
that's real, dude. It was so funny. I was watching. I was on stream the other day, and I was watching like Fox News because I thought it'd be
Hmm.
funny, and they were talking about because what I watched before I watched Fox News react to it. I actually watched um, Joe Biden go on Seth Meyers. I don't remember his name. He went on a talk show, and
Mm-hmm.
he slayed. I'm gonna be real. I don't even like. I'm not a big fan of him or anything. I think he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I have other choices though above him. He slayed. He killed it. He was making me laugh. I thought it was awesome. He did. He genuinely did a really good job, and the right still tried to sabotage it. It was so funny.
Like,
And like apparently like after like before he was eating ice cream, and like cuz that's his thing. He likes ice cream, which is fucking awesome. That's like his whole thing.
that's really funny.
And the guy was like, "Look at him eating ice cream. That doesn't scream manliness. That's like a woman thing. That's like a child. You're like a child, Bite." He's like, "He's eating ice
Imagine,
cream."
imagine being so fucking fragile that seeing a man enjoy ice cream makes you be like, I would never. I
Dude,
am so strong and tough and so
dude,
cool. I would never eat ice cream because I'm so cool and I don't need any validation. Please don't call me out. Please,
dude.
I don't need ice cream.
He was going so deep into it. He was like, and
Imagine having such a fragile ego,
he
actually.
was going so deep into it too. He's like, studies show that for kids and elders, ice cream is really good for you because it helps you relax with kids and old people. So they really, really like it. So what does that say? And I'm like, okay, kids and old people like ice cream. You know who else likes ice cream? Fucking everyone on planet Earth likes ice cream, dude.
I mean, okay, there are people that are temp sensitive.
Do you
But,
like
like,
ice
there's
cream?
a valid reason to not like ice cream, but your reason should be, it makes me feel effeminate. Fucking how? Are you that scared of hardened milk?
I don't know what you're talking about. Ice cream gives me euphoria.
Like, imagine being that scared of cold milk.
It gives me euphoria. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
It's kind of a woman thing. Do you like ice cream, Kat?
I I don't have ice cream that often. I do like when I get to have it. Usually, okay, this is something I've only done this a few times, but when I do get to, I have fun with it. I really like having like one of those treat nights where I stay up like bullshittingly late, like even later than normal, curl up in a ball with a tub of ice cream and just eat the whole thing.
Those
Because
nights
here's the
are
thing,
really
I
cool.
literally cannot gain
See,
weight. It does
the
nothing.
funny thing you mentioned that is that sounds depressing because it's a stereotype that when people are like sad and lonely because their
No,
partner
I'm just
left
having
them.
fun. I'm enjoying my
Yeah,
ice
like
cream.
any comedy you watch where like someone leaves them, usually the next scene for the comedy bit, they're like wearing a blanket and eating ice cream out of the tub with a spoon.
It feels comfy. Like I'm
I
just vibing.
agree. I
Like
agree.
for me, the when I'm being depressive, it's either curling up in a ball, wanting to die, and just kind of having like back-to-back panic attacks, or it's refusing to wake up because. Uh...
That's real. To be fair, I kind of I mean okay I won't say I agree with the stereotype, but I do feel the stereotype because
Mhm.
I do kind of do that when sad. I have done that before. I have eaten ice cream like
Mhm.
that. I'll eat ice cream anyway, and I'll curl up in
For
a blanket.
me,
The only
to be
difference
honest,
is I won't do it out of a tub if everything's all right up here.
I usually eat it just straight out of the tub. For me, usually I do that if I'm really bored.
Yo, you're like me. You eat because you're bored. Let's go. Welcome to the
You see,
club.
again, because here's the thing with my body, right? This is a quirk I have. I only recently clicked this. So, most of you are not going to get this because I'm a VTuber. I got on my way to not show my body. I'm small as fuck. My
Mm-hmm.
body does not take food. It only takes food when I don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Because it, like, that's its reaction. The second I eat, normally it's like, actually, you don't need any of this anymore. We're working,
Damn.
right? And then it turns the
Real.
metabolism way the fuck up. Okay, so we're working now, right?
I just realized something about myself that I need to do more often.
Hmm?
I always have my hair like behind my ear because it makes it makes like everything easier to see. I
Mm-hmm.
just like undid that and pulled it over my ear, and I look like
It,
way
it,
more girl.
yeah, it's because of how it frames your face.
And I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna keep doing this now.
That's part of why I usually cover my ears.
I
And,
I
like,
usually don't just
this
because
is
it's
the
like
weirdest,
it's in
like,
my
okay,
face.
I have a very specific thing, and this is, like, the kind of shit that, like, right-wing people make fun of us for.
Go on.
Cat girl dysphoria, I don't like the fact that they're not cat ears. I think human ears look weird on me.
That's real. You would look.
I'm not bullshitting. Legitimately, that is part of why I cover my ears at all
No,
times.
genuinely, your head is shaped like a cat. So you are one of the few people who, if you had a cat, like if I had cat ears, I don't really think like my head is too oval. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think. Well, not really oval. It's more like upside down egg.
Egg.
Yeah, upside down egg. Why did you say that
Mm-hmm.
before me? Why did? Okay. Anyway.
Egg.
Anyway, you would rock the cat ears. I, for instance, wouldn't. You know what I would rock though? Okay,
What?
say it. What ears would I rock?
I'm trying to think of the funny answer because I
No.
know you want me to say bunny.
There you
I know you
go.
want me
There
to
you
say
go.
bunny, but I'm trying to think of what's funnier.
You could have said Sonic ears.
Lizard.
What lizards don't have ears.
No, those are just two holes in the side of your head.
That sounds horrifying. Well,
Have you never seen a lizard before?
that you know what that means though.
What? I
I'm
swear to God. I swear to God. Do not put your dick in the lizard hole.
I'm just look, okay. I would never do it to a real lizard, chat. Probably a little too small. Look, I love lizards.
That is your only reason?
No, that's not.
Fucking what?
That's not my only reason.
Fucking what?
That's not my only reason. They're also
Oh my God,
silly.
I can't believe you've been caught for being both a pedophile and a zoophile.
Stop!
Wow.
No, I haven't been caught for either of these things, chat. I have.
You're
Hold
literally
on.
fucking a 14-year-old cat girl. What do you mean? Did you miss again?
That actually, I mean, it didn't get a bullseye, but it's like way closer than I thought it would be. I threw
I'm
that.
younger if you want me to. Oh,
Okay, chat.
something
No,
like
no,
this.
chat. How old are you now? What the hell's happening?
I don't know. What does it sound like?
Chat. This is not the pedophile podcast. This is the communist podcast. And if
I'm sorry, I had to.
if we wanted to save it for the capitalist podcast.
Okay.
I need to. What?
I'm trying to think of like more talking points, like the communism thing, since like there's a lot to say, and I feel like it's just really hard to think of anything unless I'm like in a defensive, like, well, no, that's wrong. This is why it's wrong.
I mean, like, remember that, like we don't have to talk about it the whole time. But if you have more you want to talk more, you just don't know exactly what to talk about next.
Because I'm trying to think of like.
I'm trying to help you
What's
out
it-
here, but I don't know what to bring up either.
Well, I mean, that's because we agree for the most part. Like, the only other thing I can think of is like. Because, like.
What do we disagree? I don't really think we disagree on it at all.
Like, I think the biggest thing is like. I think. Because I know, like, another thing that, like, we both agree here. I think as things are now, we'd have to go into social. I mean, this is literally the point of socialism. We'd have to go into socialism first before there'd be a shot at communism, as well as I think communism would have to work locally, exclusively. So what I could imagine is a lot of small colonies that are communist, but then those individual colonies kind of create, like... Because I'm trying to think of, like...
I mean, we'd have to, like, rebuild, like, our economy. Like Disney, Amazon, Google, all these things would have to
that actually
not
does
exist.
remind me of something.
Go ahead.
There's this one thing I've heard of, like, well, capitalism has to exist because it drives innovation. But here's the thing, right? You innovate to solve a problem that exists. And here's the thing, there are a lot of incredibly smart people out there that are just off the map because they don't have resources. And so if we had a communist system where you could say, hey, I have this idea, can I have resources to do this? They're like,
If only
I'll let you cook.
If only
And then you get
communism
resources.
would fix the algorithm. Algorithm? More like algorithm.
Here's the thing. Here's the fucking
Like
thing. The reason algorithms work the way they do. They used to work better. We had a better method, then we changed it because it made less money. If we were in a communist system, we would not have changed it. It would have worked how it already did. And then there wouldn't be a push to do whatever is more profitable and do whatever is the most correct.
The Balls podcast would have 1 trillion views if it wasn't for the woke agenda.
I don't think there are many... Well, okay, I guess...
Despacito. That
okay,
song.
here's the thing. I think what we are is very much appealing to a niche. We are
I'm
just
joking. Yeah, it
waiting
wouldn't
for
be a
them to
million.
find that niche.
We need literally is like we appeal to like a gay. We're
Mhm.
the gay podcast. Can we make that an episode? Can I write that down? Can we have the gay podcast?
What would that even be? Just us making out for 5 hours?
We have that for the sex pod episode. We have that for the making out episode.
One of these episodes is gonna be us making out for 5 hours.
Would
you
you
wait.
actually want to upload that on YouTube? You would be okay with
Yes.
that?
I'm okay with
Okay.
doing a face reveal if it's me making out with my girlfriend.
Not on OnlyFans or anything, just on YouTube.
I have no shame.
Okay, well, there we
You
have
know how I am. I don't have shame.
we're gonna have
Legitimately,
the
the biggest
podcast.
reason I'm a VTuber is because I think it's more interesting, because I think this face better captures who I am than my actual face.
You know what I realized? I realized that I was thinking like we could like have before episode 100 we could have like seen each other, because remember,
Realistically, yes.
52 episodes is a year in.
Mhm.
So we will by episode 100 we will be 19. I will be.
You'll be 19.
I don't know why I said we.
Mhm.
I will be 19. You will be
I'll
156.
finally be 13. Oh my god.
Yeah, obviously we both said the exact same number. We both said 12.
Mhm. I really hope Discord doesn't find this. I don't want my account to get terminated. I can't let them know I'm 6.
Your account's actually gonna be terminated.
Discord, no, I swear to God, I can send you. I have an ID. Ignore all the things that show it's fake. I have it.
Oh my god, I'm losing my mind right now. I'm losing it.
I can make an ID.
Dude, you
Please.
pull up the what's it called? You pull up the McLovin ID.
I don't even get the reference. I just think that sounds really
You
funny.
know, I was gonna say, I was actually kind of surprised you get the reference, or I was like, you got the reference? You don't watch movies.
I've never watched a movie ever.
It's called Superbad, and he's like, yo, I got a fake ID, and he pulled it up, and it was like a really close-up shot of his face where it was like fisheye lens, and it said McLovin, and they said McLovin. He's like, yeah, the name sounds sick, and he's like, there's no last name. He's like, it looks cool. It's McLovin. It was awesome.
The first name is Mick.
It was all one word, just McLovin, and it was so cool. It was a meme, but it was like one of the memes that was even before our time. It was like like when did Alexa, when did Superbad come out?
The film Superbad was released on August 17th, 2007.
Damn.
Old meme.
That's like, okay, that is early internet, but that's actually, okay.
It's
What is the
literally
line between
9 years before you were born.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, what's the line between early internet and like what are like the internet eras?
Internet eras. 2007 internet era was like YouTube just came out.
I think that was like,
MySpace was still
I
going.
think that was new internet, but not modern internet.
The internet was like new in the 90s. That's when it was released
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
public.
Like I feel like old internet is like
Old internet's
back when like Internet Explorer was standard.
back when only the police could access the internet. That back in my
Like,
day.
I'm trying to think of like what's a good line there? Like I'm thinking like that old classy like Windows XP. That is old internet.
I feel
Windows
like
XP is definitely old internet. I feel like it's like Windows 7 is the start of new internet of like 2.0 era when everyone started being comfortable with it. But I also associate old internet with like kind of like MySpace.
I mean, you have to remember that like it's subjective, right? Like in 300 years from now, our internet and the internet we had in 2007 is gonna look exactly the same. They're just gonna be like,
That's
oh
fair.
wow, it looks like.
Because I mean like when internet was very new, like before we had like, I feel like, because I'm trying to think of like what is the defining event between like early internet and like okay, the internet's starting to become more accessible, it's starting to become more standardized, and thus it's starting to become more streamlined.
I'd say like Facebook and YouTube,
Hmm.
because
That's kind of what I was thinking.
before those two were like forums. That was it. And MySpace
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
too as well. MySpace.
Yeah, I feel like those are all kind of relics of early internet.
Yeah.
I guess like, because I feel like I'm trying to think of like when's modern internet. Because I feel like we weren't in modern internet even in like 2015. That was still like new internet, not modern internet.
I disagree there, because like
Because it's not about the things we have access to, it's about the mindset of the internet. It is how people act.
well, now it's like I like how they're trying to make us glued to it too. It's like they don't even deny it. They came out with like the Apple Vision Pro. It's like, dog, we don't need this. Stop trying to make us more dystopian, please. Like the idea is really cool, I'll admit, but we do not need it yet. They are trying to shove
Unironically,
us.
there's a concept I've had that like I acknowledge this is dystopian as all fuck. But if we developed brain chips enough and like didn't have it owned by fucking Elon Musk,
Dude, I don't know.
then
I'm
we
sorry.
could-
I wouldn't
Hear me
stop
out.
you from getting a brain chip, but there's
let me
two.
cook.
You cook.
Let me cook.
Sorry, cook.
Let me
go ahead,
cook. What if we
Sorry
were
for
able
interrupting.
to make a VR, like a VR simulation that was held entirely mentally? So instead of having to run equipment, it just redirects your nerve inputs to a virtual creature.
You're just saying that because you know I would like fuck the shit out of a bunch of furries.
Okay, but like that is legitimately the most logical way to make like a more immersive VR is, well, what if it just hijacked your senses?
The only issue, okay, if we're talking about VR right now and not like boom, I have information in my brain, but like VR,
Mm-hmm.
my only issue is I don't like people say your Alexa might be listening to you. You don't know what they're doing. My genuine response, I don't think they
Who
are.
gives a
But
shit?
yeah, literally, even if they are, it's like, oh shit, they're gonna hear me read.
Oh no, they're gonna hear what my orgasms sound like. The horror.
Yeah, but like when it comes to brain chip, it's like for all you could know, they might control you someday. And then I think about it, it's like, oh shit, they actually like that's plausible. That's actually something that would worry me a little bit.
You see, to me, my thought process there is like, I think the best thing to prevent that is to make it so that it cannot directly control anything, I guess. But it's like, I'm trying to think of like, I think like,
I would wait for
say, a
so
simulated
many
reality.
sources. I would need so many scientific sources to say we did research and there's literally no way they can control your brain with this chip before I
Because I'm
like
trying to think of like,
put it
I
in my
think
brain.
if it is able to directly control how your body moves, it should not be allowed to receive inputs from an outside source.
See, I had an
I believe
idea.
it should be able to send inputs to other things, but I do not think it should be able to download anything, because the last thing we need is for people to be able to get brain malware.
Let me cook here. I got a idea for a book for a while that it's like a little stoopy. So I haven't done it yet, obviously, because I still have way too much to do. But I thought this would be cool. Brain chips, right? They put chips in your brain. Scientists look at it and they're like, we're gonna put the chip there, and scientists go like, okay, yeah, you can't control shit. You're good. Go ahead and put the chip there. They do it over and over again. But then what the dummy dumb scientists, brain experts. Obviously, I'm gonna do more research into what the scientists are calling, how brains work and shit like that before I would write something like this. But then before like when they put the brain in, it actually expands. So when they put the chip in there. There's something in the chip that kind of extends out of the chip and reaches another part of the brain. That way it actually can control people, and they don't know. I thought that sounded kind of sick.
How?
What do you mean, how? Like a little
Technology
port
doesn't
opens
move
up.
like that.
A little port opens up on the chip, and then a little wire comes out.
Like,
It looks like I'm having sex with my fingers right now. A little
I'm trying to think of like, how would it work mechanically? Because a wire doesn't have nerves. It'd have to have like something to move it, so it would be bulky as all fuck. And like, if it's like, oh yeah, no, this doesn't have any extra parts in it, then why is it like this?
Well, maybe
fucking
not
thick?
wire. Maybe like a little tiny arm, A baby
an-
arm. A baby finger.
Like an antenna kind of makes sense. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
But like,
See,
it'd only
I'd
have
think
so much range.
reminder. I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna think
'Cause,
about
like,
it. And
what comes to mind is like maybe it could have a wire that shoots an electrical pulse to a different neural region.
my thing is like if I were to write this, I'd do more research. It would not be the way I explained it to you. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to do more research and find out that that is technically possible
Mm-hmm.
in some way, that would be a pretty dope storyline.
The first thing that comes to mind is that human brains use electricity. That is how thoughts work. That is how impulses work. It's electricity. And so with it being a technological component, you can imagine it could just shoot very, very small pulses of electricity.
It's actually it's absolutely crazy how little electricity we run on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. It would be very hard to make something that could produce little enough electricity to not instantly, like, cause an insane amount of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, what would y'all do if, like, I just started, like, picking my nose and then Cat wouldn't even notice? That'd be pretty funny, right, chat?
Damn.
That would be so funny.
I'm trying to think of, like... Okay, here's another thing, right? I'm very open about this. The shit I would do to get, like... Jade, why?
I thought you're blind, what?
I can still see... I'm not, like, completely blind. I can still see, like, splotches of color.
Well,
I can sort of make out what your hands are.
What were my hands doing?
I don't need to explain it to you. You know.
You don't know what I was doing. You just saw movement happening in front of my face.
Shut up.
Anyway.
Anyway. Well, I'm very open about this. I very much, like... I would do so much shit to get, like, a functional cat ears and, like, a cat tail.
Yeah.
And so, like, a brain chip would allow it to be like, hey, by the way, you have nerves here. Okay. And then it'd let it move based in response to, like, oh, this chemical response means this movement pattern. Okay, I'll do that.
You should get...
Hey, you're angry. Slick back.
That's awesome. You should get... That would be really awesome. You should get a branded cattail _ cat... Wait, blah. You should get a branded cattail _ cattail.
I think I see the vision, but that would just be a pink tail with a white tuft at the end.
Yeah.
Which is like, I am not the first anime cat girl to have a white tuft at the end of a pink tail.
Better get that patent.
I'm not taking away the right to have a white tuft on your tail if you have pink fur.
Bring out your inner capitalist cat and patent that tail.
No.
Patent it.
Another thing I actually do want.
I'm gonna be real.
This is
She's more
something like-
communist than me. I totally would have patented that. I'm gonna be so honest.
I believe that the people have the rights to do, like, I'm kind of like this, like, technology patents, like, because my older sibling works in tech a lot. They've, like, made code. They code stuff. Don't, like, just release everything you make to the public. It's everyone's right to be able to, like, have documentation for, if someone's made this thing, hey, this is how you make this thing. Don't hoard information. People are inherently entitled to have information.
I get that. What was I gonna say? Shit. Something about patenting shit. I don't know. You keep going. I forgot.
Another thing I thought of is, like, I know this would be so fucking difficult to actually make happen, but, like, I think we were able to, like, tell, like, the parts of the body, like, determine hair color. Hey, by the way, this is wrong. This data's wrong. This is what you make, actually. Like, the biggest thing is, how do you give the body new genetic data without accidentally also introducing cancer by confusing it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, that makes sense, but it's just so funny. How, like, it makes sense, but it's just a left
Because logically,
field.
that is what would happen is,
Yeah.
This is the data for an ear. Well, this is what my instructions say, so, okay.
You have cancer.
You have cancer.
Yeah.
Like, also, because, here's the thing. From my understanding, there are two sliders for how hair color works. There is, I forget what they are. It's black and white, at like how black or white it is and how much keratin there is for orange. So it's black and white, and the amount of orange that determines hair color, from my understanding.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking, like, how would you introduce a new slider? Because there's not like an actual natural thing that tells your Jade why.
I had to get up to fix my fan, so I thought I'd just do that on the way. It was blowing one of the posters around and around, and I thought it was gonna fall off.
Anyway,
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
like there isn't like the way that hair is orange is because keratin. That's what tells it, hey, you're orange. You have really high keratin, and you don't have anything darkening it, so it's orange. I think
Right.
I feel like it's melanin, because also people that have orange hair are more prone to sunburn, which means they have less melanin, which is how your skin darkens. So I'm guessing melanin and keratin. But then we don't have a thing for, hey, by the way, you're pink. You
Right.
produce pink or like neon green. Those aren't colors that like there are nerves for. And so the only way I can think of doing that is like
Even even fake black
mhm,
is like a different shade of like natural black hair is very very dark brown, while
mhm,
black dye is very very dark blue.
mhm, mhm. Like
Sometimes I know random
that's
shit.
no, that's actually I kind of figured, but that does make sense. Just because like
Oh yeah,
mhm, that's what black is.
I knew that from acting class.
That makes
Because
sense.
it was like casting, like you have to have this color hair, and also your hair no, because your hair is fake, and it's like, well, it looks exactly the same to us. Actually, if you look, it's really really dark blue, and then I look, it's like shit. Now everyone comes up to me and they're like, "Hey, I dyed my hair black. Did it look real?" I'm like, "Not to me, no, because I know the trick now, and it sucks because now your hair looks fake to me."
That's fair.
Sorry to ruin everyone who's here. Sorry to ruin your friend's black hair now. Now you can see behind their lives.
Just to burn it.
Burn it. Burn it.
Well, it'd be charred. Char is black.
Char is black. It's
Fuck.
funny that you're blind, but you can probably see what I did because of colors.
Ha, you only have one eye.
It's so cool.
For me,
That's
right,
what I did.
okay. With how my blindness works, right? Because I can wear glasses and correct it, but I can't wear them while I'm like using this model specifically because of the
Yeah.
software I use. So I like there aren't really hard lines. I mostly tell by the changes in color.
I just put my hair
then-
over my eyes.
And then everything's just very fuzzy. And so I can usually just tell by like the shape
Very
that's made by the color what's happening.
Fuzzy.
What?
Like
What are
the,
you trying to do?
like the guy.
Babe, half the viewers don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe we'll bring him on a podcast and show him.
No.
Okay, well, now he's watching and feels sad.
I don't care.
This is so sad. Just so you
Fuzzy,
know,
if you're
I
watching
wasn't
this,
against it,
eat
Fuzzy.
shit.
I wasn't judging you, Fuzzy. Fuzzy has the free time. He would watch. He's in the
No, that's fair.
he's in our server now.
Actually, that is fair. It's more so just, I don't see the vision. Maybe you can prove me wrong. I'd have to like actually sit down and talk with him to actually be like, this is an entertaining person that I believe could talk for like 5 hours straight.
There you go.
Without
now,
being boring.
if you're watching, Fuzzy, you now have an opening. If you're watching, you have already shown your dedication. Now you just have to
imagine
show
being-
your skill.
Imagine being like some random ass viewer. It's like, yeah, we have this guy named Fuzzy and he sucks, Lamau.
Doesn't suck. He doesn't suck, guys. I don't want to be mean to people on the podcast.
I'm sorry, I thought it would be funny.
He's not. Come on. Now he's
But yeah.
watching and he's like, when
I don't think he's watching anymore, I'm a female.
he's watching. He's always watching.
Damn.
Bro's here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got now he thinks he got babied by a little
What?
bully. Now he thinks he got
I don't-
babied by a little
What?
bully.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't. This is kind of crazy, chat. This is a
What?
little wild.
What?
This is a little wild style Lego movie.
Whoa, Lego.
Lego, you like Legos because you're 2 years old?
Uh-huh.
Well, you like the big Legos, probably.
I'm
Want me to
losing
shove
my
this big
mind.
Lego in your ass?
I'm losing my mind.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for the podcast. It's clearly too late. Thankfully, no one's watching right now. They're gonna be really worried. Look,
I'm
guys.
trying.
Sometimes I flirt with my girlfriend.
I still
and
want to
it's
talk about
really weird.
communism, but I don't
Really
know what
weird
to
flirts.
say.
You got this. Talk about like how why do you like Stalin?
You.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Why do you like Lenin?
Lenin was also kind of,
I don't know
Yeah,
shit about Lenin. I'm gonna be so real
because
with you.
from what I recall, the biggest issue with Lenin is that like
The
he, I
Marxists
think
and
like
Leninists, many of them.
from what I recall, I do have not looked into this because I usually don't care about names, but I believe the biggest issue with Lenin is that, like, yes, he agreed with the vision, but communism isn't gonna work if you do it in a fascist sort of way.
Okay.
You cannot force it. You have to do it you have to do it democratically. You have to vote in, because this man was doing it right. He was doing democracy, and then people went, "I don't like this in the democracy," and so he said, "Fuck you," and then switched to the not democracy because it was easier.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, speaking of names, let's see if you remember, because I've told you like 2 or 3 times now. Kat, do you know who Helen Keller is?
Blind
There you. One other thing too.
and deaf.
There you go. Do you remember Malcolm X? We talked about
X.
him a lot less, so I'll give you a pass. Friend of Martin Luther King. And helped with the civil
Whoa.
rights movement and shit like that.
Mhm.
Bro was there when affirmative action passed.
All right.
Remember, like,
I was trying to think, like,
remember my friend who
is
takes everything
gay?
seriously. What?
Is gay? That was the first thing that came to mind. Is gay? Because I feel like I don't
think
know.
so.
I know like Alan Turing is. I know a lot of people that are like kind of important are. But
I remember-
I
Remember, I always like fuck with my friend because he takes me so seriously. I'm like, I got a question for you, and he's like, all right, and I'm like, who would you vote for, Joe Biden? And he's like, okay, or, and he was thinking, and I went, Malcolm X, and he went, okay, so one of those people is dead, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, Malcolm X died, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? He died. I pretended to just not know that Malcolm X died.
that's extremely funny actually.
Yeah, I knew, but I thought it'd be funnier if I didn't know.
Okay, I know I've talked about this before. I actually really want to read the Communist Manifesto just because it's like
I have
a
it right
lot
here.
of like, because
The nearest
for
place
me,
to
right,
get it
I've
is
never
my
read
house.
it, but I've listened to other people describe it, and a lot of the points that they make directly from it's like, yeah, that makes sense. That is correct.
Also, you've heard me read it to you like a lullaby.
We haven't done that yet.
I'm gonna pull it out and read it like a lullaby. I'm gonna, like, sing it. Hold up.
I know.
Let me
What
find
the
it.
hell?
I can't marks. It'll be under M. Where is it?
Jade, why are you like this?
It's gonna be so funny.
Just read it normally. What the hell? You don't have to make it weird.
Gotta be like a lullaby. Let me find the actual page. I didn't know.
Why?
The version that I bought comes with like some guy talking about it for half the book. It's like, homie, I just want the fucking thing. What page 283 is when it actually starts. Okay. 283. I remember, like, I was talking to someone in the store. I'm like, I want the Communist Manifesto, and they're like, do you mean the anti-communist manifesto? I'm like, what the fuck? Ew, cringe. No, I want the Communist Manifesto. Here we fucking go.
Okay, actually, that does give me a talking point of Cold War propaganda.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like most
That is
people,
like the biggest reason
Dude.
why people are against communism. It's not because there's anything wrong with it. Most people have not thought about it in any meaningful way other than, well, I was told it was bad, and people wouldn't lie to me and tell me to dislike a thing for no reason.
I've
It
said
must be bad.
many times that Trump is like evil communists, Marxist, Leninists, many of them. And I'm like, I swear to God, he doesn't know what that communist means. Like, if you asked him what is communist, he'd be like, it's the opposite of freedom. It's anti-democratic. It's like, what does it actually mean, though? It's like, Biden.
Okay, what about democratic?
It's
What about
Biden.
democratic communism.
It means Biden.
Like,
Evil.
I remember, okay, back when I was still, like, in school, there was this one thing that pissed me the fuck off. I remember they were showing this thing that, like, that I forget the context of it, but, like, they were trying to explain what communism was as, like, a system. And the way they described it is, yeah, so for, like, because it's using grading as a, like a, way to describe it, which, fair, it was a high school. But then, like, for that, I remember one of the points was like, yeah, so we're gonna take all of the grades and we're gonna average them, and that is the thing. It's like, no,
Real. Dude, this hasn't...
it would not be the average. There would be no points to score and rank people over one another. It would just be, yeah, learn thing because learning good.
Right. Just so you know,
There-
the
no-
actual
You
communist...
don't need to measure it.
The actual Communist Manifesto in this book does not start until page 321. That would make sense if it was like, oh, by the way, no, the front of it literally is just called the Communist Manifesto. I picked it up thinking it was just the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, but no.
Mhm.
Here,
This dude couldn't
here
think
you
of
get
any
it,
other way to get his
lullaby.
book published.
Here you get lullaby. A specter is...
And in server mute jail you go.
Don't do that, I'm trying to read it. Haunting Europe, the spect... Okay, well, too bad. Okay, you have to remember. You know they can hear me, right? Like,
Yeah, and I can't.
okay.
And that's funny.
The specter of communism, all the powers of old Europe have entered a holy
No fucking rhythm.
alliance to exercise the specter. Pope and Tsar, Metternich and
No rhythm.
Quasar,
Actually zero.
French radicals and German
Boo,
police
get off the
spies.
stage.
Where's the
Boo.
party in
Boo.
opposition that has not been decried as communistic by its opponents in power? Okay, we're done. It's pretty awesome.
Why?
It was
Why
sick.
did you feel the
Dude,
need to do that?
I don't know why. I was doing it to a beat of a song by Nat King Cole. I don't know why, but singing French radicals and German police spies in the beat of A Blossom Fell by Nat King Cole is really funny. It's
That's
really
fair.
funny.
Like, there was no fucking flow.
I know. Okay, the OG song. Have I sang that before? I may have sang that before. The literal only song. Okay, one of two songs that I feel comfortable singing in public. That and The Sound of Silence, and one.
Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, taking the Communist Manifesto, reading it in full, and trying to find a way to turn it into one song that meaningfully captures the entire meaning in under 5 minutes.
Literally just did it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, because I want to also
She
use
just go-
verbatim quotes, but then I want to have a correct, like, a reasonable beat for it.
She's so tired of my shit chat. You notice, like, I say something and she just goes over it. It's because she's just tired of me.
Yes.
After, like, 8 months, she's done.
It's late. I'm trying to be serious.
I'm sorry.
I am, like, on medicine. I'm on my medication today because I was trying to actually get some work done. And so I'm actually kind of
Usually
being
she's
normal.
just, like, autism pilled.
No, I intentionally stay off my medication for my ADHD because I like being way over the top at all times.
It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all should skip your medication, guys. Schizophrenia is cool.
Don't fucking say that.
What do you mean?
Why?
It's
What the hell?
What do you mean?
What the fuck?
It's so cool.
What the fuck?
Dude, yo, you don't have schizophrenia? Literally, I do, and I'm having sex right now. You can't see it. I can, because I don't take my schizophrenia
Okay, thank
meds.
you all for tuning in.
Are you calling it off? Are you calling the podcast off?
Not immediately, but soon.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. That's why you don't take your schizophrenia meds.
I don't know. I feel like there's not really a lot more I have to say. Like,
Communism-wise?
I really wish I researched like the Cold War propaganda part more, because that's such an interesting part to talk about.
Yeah, the Red
But,
Scare.
like,
The Red Scare is really funny. They literally added "In God We Trust," or "One Nation Under God." They added that because of the Big Red Scare. They was really wanted to push forward. We're a Christian nation, anti-communist. Like everyone who's like, that's historic. That's been here since the beginning. We can't take it out of the national anthem. It's like, no, it's not. It was added.
No, like
the
when I was
50s.
like really young, eventually I went, actually, God makes me extremely uncomfortable. I'm not gonna say this ever. I'm done.
Dude, that's kind of based. You were like at a young age, you were like kneeling before it was popular. She kneeled before it was cool, except she didn't kneel.
Like
she just
eventually I
didn't say
got
it.
to a point of just like, this isn't worth my time, and I legitimately do not care. I'm not doing this.
Do I still remember? Let's see. Don't do it for me. Do you remember anything about it? I pledge allegiance. No, right hand.
Yeah,
I pledge allegiance.
I can do it from memory because it is a cult chant, but
No one else does that. No, other countries don't do that shit. And if they did,
yeah,
if they like
it's
saluted,
cultish.
if they saluted,
It is
if they saluted,
objectively cultish.
if they saluted to North Korea, we'd be like, can
That
you
is
believe
cult
that shit?
behavior. That is not a pledge.
Let me try.
Because you are a child and you do not have the ability to comprehend what it means.
Let me
That is
try.
a chant, like a cult.
Let me try. Let me see if I remember it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, in which it stands.
It's into the republic for which it stands.
Oh, into the republic of which it stands.
The republic, not
It's
public.
in the republic which it stands.
For which.
It's in the. Fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't
It's a
laugh.
cult chant. I can do it from memory. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Damn, I wanna
that.
like clip that. Just me going like for the republic. It's from the republic. From the republic. Fuck you. I want to.
It's not that hard. It's just a cult chant. If you've been in a cult for like a few years, you start memorizing it.
I have. I've been in many. I was literally a Jehovah's Witness for a few
Yeah, I
years.
know. I'm saying America is also a cult. That's the only cult I've been in.
What was it?
I can't wait to have that clipped. I can't wait to see what that'll do for my public image. Yeah, being an American's kind of a cult.
I mean, like obviously we can. You don't have to be in it, but like being, I'd say a patriotism is. I'll say that.
I would actually agree. That's
Yeah.
more meaningful. I think it's like, I think the way Americans pledge their loyalty to their country is cultish in nature.
Yeah, like
I think it is fair to be proud of the nation you are from, but I think the extent by which Americans do it too is overbearing to a point of being legitimately uncomfortable to be around.
Yeah, it's I remember like one time. It was a friend, an old friend of mine. We don't talk anymore. We were in Barnes and Noble. We literally started laughing after. Because this old lady came in and she bought Unwoke by Ted Cruz and scanned it. And she said, "Wait, is this $13.99?" And she was pointing at the Canadian price, and we said, "No, it's $11.99. It's because U.S. dollars." And she looked at us and she said, "Well, God bless America." And then she took the book and left, and we just looked at each other like, "Was that fucking real? Like, what just happened?" Like, she was sweet, she was nice. I'll give her that. But what just happened?
No, that is the actual funniest thing imaginable.
Dude,
The
she
I
went
do
up
not
to-
know what is happening signature.
Dude, she went up to two trans people behind a counter and purchased Unwoke, and then thought she if you buy books, you know this. If you're a book buyer, you know to look for the USD price because they list all 3 prices there, so they don't have to print it several times. We know this. She knew that. She just wanted to say God bless.
When I was 7.
She just wanted to say God bless America. She just wanted to say. She was sweet. I don't want to be too mean.
I've understood that since I was able to read.
I don't want to be too mean because she was sweet, but like, what was happening? It was funny. It was amusing. I kind of want to buy Unwoke. I want to read Unwoke.
Don't fucking buy Unwoke. If you're going to read it, pirate it.
See, the only issue is, like, when I read stuff, I like to put it on my Goodreads, and I don't want people to think that I like Unwoke. Because, like, that's, like, for me, like, that's... I need to feel like I'm accomplishing something. That's why I love the Goodreads app. I need to feel... Like, I love reading, but I feel like I'm doing it for no reason a lot. So now that I have Goodreads, it says, like, oh, you completed this many books. It's like, hell yeah, I'm actually doing something. So if I read Unwoke, I'd have to put it on Goodreads, because that's how my brain works. And I would just see my friend count
At
just
least
plummet.
pirate it so that you don't give them money.
I mean, to be fair, they see me read books from, like, lefty politicians all the time. I'm sure if they saw me reading Unwoke, they'd know it was for research purposes. Also, every time I read more pages and there's a status, I could just put under it, this book sucks, by the way, every time I update it, the status of how far I am.
This book still sucks.
This book is
This
still
is-
ass. Dude, I kind of do that for the January 6th
I'm so glad I
book already.
pirated this.
I kind of do that for the January 6th book already. I'll get further in. I'm like, yeah, it's still too long. 50 pages later. Yeah, guys, this is still, like, way too long. 50 pages later. Yeah, guys, this is, like, way too long.
Why are they not ending the book yet?
Why is the book not over?
Why are they manifesting more pages as I read it?
Dude, let's see. I'm gonna... Next week... I keep saying this, but it will be done next week. It's been here since the beginning of the podcast. 1 week I just gave up and put Salem's Lot there. And then
The
I'm like,
new
no,
era-
we're
the-
bringing it back. I'm going to finish this damn book.
We'll define our eras by what book is on your corner.
That would be so cool. Some weeks, because I read short books too. Short books are some of my favorite books. Some weeks, like, there's just going to be a new book every podcast.
We call those a mini arc.
Mini bonus arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Anyway, I'm on page
I want to
590
make a One
right
Piece
now.
reference so bad, but I have not read or watched One Piece.
One Piece is awesome. You know what? You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm not even joking.
What?
On YouTube, I am going to make playlists for different arcs, and they are going to be labeled based upon what book is back there.
That is kind of funny.
This is going to be the January 6th arc. That's gonna be the name of this arc.
Its signature is for being entirely in January.
Yeah, what's funny about the January 6th arc is that one of the episodes, again, I just have Salem's Lot back there because I thought, you know what, I'm going to give up on the January 6th book. And then next week I'm like, no, I'm doing it.
I respect the energy.
Which
But
I
it
did
was
get
good.
really far in Salem's Lot. I'm in part 2 now, but then I was like, no, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish it. I'm in like page 200.
Just have both. Oh my god.
No! I gotta do them in order. I'm reading like 20-something books right now, and I decided at some point when I had like 27, I'm like, no, I'm gonna start at the beginning when I started reading, and just work my way out and read all of them, except the Stephen King books, because I started some of the later ones, and then later I decided actually I want to read all of Stephen King's books in order, so I'm gonna skip.
That's fair. That's
So, like,
fair.
I've read 50 pages of it, but I'm gonna stop until I read all of other Stephen King's books before it.
That's fair. That's fair. I've never read books really. That's just never been my thing.
I'm sure I want to like I want to find a book for Kat. It just sucks that my type of books are like, well, you like educational stuff. I guess you might like nonfiction.
Maybe like I've had some books that have managed to capture me, but the fact that like they were for like mostly assignments, since I've never read for fun, it's like, yeah, this is narratively interesting, but I don't ever have motivation to read.
I mean,
Unless
I'm like
literally forced to.
I'm one of the people, like most people are, if they like a book, they're gonna like no matter what it is, they're gonna be like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna love this book. I'm aware. A lot of the, like really all the books I read, other than manga, I have some manga you would totally like as lesbians, but there's a lot of
Okay. There's this one book that I remember. This is like one of the few memories from like when I was little that I actually managed to hold on to. But when I was younger, my dad used to read the Discworld for me and my older sibling. And I so badly want to be able to actually read it on my own, and my brain just doesn't work like that. But like, it is one of the most actual batshit insane stories I've ever heard. Just having it described to me, and it's like, I so
Damn.
badly wish I could watch.
I
this
love
as
the
a film.
pog face, and it's like What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So the thing with my books is I will admit I read them and I'm like I could tell you right now most of the books I read you would hate because they're long descriptions. A lot of them are horror books, so it's like I can read them and be like, yeah, no, Kat would not like this at all. Which sucks that you would like cat massage therapy, which is a manga.
When I visit, we can cuddle up and read cat massage therapy.
Hell yeah! I don't really know any non non-manga books, like an actual novel that you would
I mean, to be honest, that'd be preferred just because, like, I don't like reading unless it's, like, the only time I actually like reading is, like, a JRPG.
You might like How to Kill Your Family.
Maybe.
It's a book about
We'll
a
see.
girl. It's a comedy, and she has like uber conservative. Like I'm at the beginning because I said I started over all my books and I read them all the way through. What I saw so far is she wants to murder her family for different reasons. Right now she has like uber conservative racist grandparents, so she's gonna kill them.
Base.
That's pretty silly. That's you might actually.
They deserve it.
That's
They
something
deserve
that
it.
you might actually enjoy. It's not too long. It's like 300 pages. It's like average, I'd say. Very average, 200 pages. 300 pages, very average. 200 is like, yeah. 100 is like, goddamn, that's a short ass book. Under 100, it's like, okay, this isn't a book. I'm sorry. This is a short story. I don't care how many words are involved. Short stories are under 10,000 words. Homie, I have a novella, so I'll just say that. My book is a novella. It's not a short story. I surpassed 10,000 words, guys. Not a short story. Mine's a novella. Probably be over 100 pages, is my guess. It'll probably be like...
Damn. Okay, actually, I might legitimately read your book just because this is something my girlfriend made, so...
That would be so
and
cool.
then I'm gonna get 10 pages in and go, no. And stop reading it because I'm just like that.
I mean, maybe, but then you'd see that there's, like, trans romance in it, and you'd keep reading it.
That legitimately made me want to read it.
there is. I'll tell you right now.
Just put that on the cover. No cover. This book has trans people dating in it.
It does. Well, not two trans people. It's a cis girl. The main character is a cis girl, and then her love interest is a trans
This
girl.
book has a trans person in it.
This book has one
it.
trans person in it. Please read it. That's like what conservatives think woke books look like. There's diversity in this book.
I wish more books did that so I knew what I wanted to read.
Ask Hana. She literally only reads Yuri. Like, that's actually it. I'm not even joking. She won't read anything
That's really
else.
cool.
She will not read anything else. Literally, she keeps trying to get me to play
Holy shit.
Toho. She's like, Jade, there's Yuri in it. It's like, that's not... Okay, but is the game good? Yes, and there's Yuri. That's all I can get from her about Toho is there's Yuri in it.
There is Yuri in it.
There
to be
is.
fair.
I know that much because she keeps sending me like softcore porn. Okay, I wouldn't even say softcore. It's just not NSFW, but there's like biting and whatnot.
I mean, hey, it's not soft on them, but it's soft for us.
That's true. For Kana, that's like the craziest shit she's ever seen. For me and you, that's baby time. That's baby. Baby time is hardcore, but that's not baby time.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
Y'all, I'm losing it right now. I'm actually losing it. What are you doing over there?
Losing my mind.
That's so true. Look, Chad, we're tired. It's 10 my
Ow.
time, 9 her time.
Okay, I have a thing I can do where
Go
I
on.
can hypertension my limbs and they'll vibrate really fast.
That's so cool.
But it also makes it feel like all my bones are broken.
Ow, I just did
So
it.
I
see what
try
you
to
mean.
avoid doing it.
You want to know what the worst thing I've ever felt is?
What?
I remember. So you ever get cramps?
Uh-huh.
I've only had one.
Okay.
I will only get cramps in my calf when I'm jerking off. That is the only time I can get a. Usually, it's like okay, just stop for a second and reposition. Okay, it's gone. One time, I was like, nah, it's fine. I don't know why my calf feels like that, but it's fine. Like, I was too in it. I was in it to win it, and I wasn't doing it. Before I could win it, my calf, like, I could feel it, like, you know how your calf, like, hangs? Because I got fat on my calf? It was just,
No.
like, to the side, all of it. There was just a muscle just pointing out. And it was like, oh! I didn't win it! And
Ow.
yeah, I remember like trying to like go downstairs. I felt like one of my legs was broken. I couldn't move. I did not feel better until the morning. Could not finish. Was edging
Yeah.
all night.
Ah.
Sorry for
Sounds
explaining
so
that in
rough.
detail. I just needed y'all to understand how bad it was. It hurt so much.
Okay, for me, I've done this a few times because so I have hypermobility. Like Jade's seen this, I have really fucked up joints.
It's
so I
really
can bend them
funny.
in a lot of ways that shouldn't be possible.
It's really
But one of
funny.
the fun side effects of this is sometimes when I'm messing with them, they'll click. Like I'll hear a click sound and they'll lock in place for a second. And like I have to when they click like that and they lock in place, I have to tear them out. So I'll, like grab onto them and like it'll feel like it'll feel like I'm trying to think of like how do you describe that? Because like it feels like
No idea.
because they're just being forced back into place. It's like having a broken limb and oh no, that's super fucked up. Let's just twist that, click back into position. Hurts like I hate the fact that my body can do that because I like being able to like oh yeah no I can bend my leg around 180 degrees and then also like put it somewhere else. But when I hear that click, it's like, oh no.
I'm sorry.
don't-
I didn't know
I-
about that. Well, I think that sounds
I
kind of
don't
familiar.
I don't want to have to click it.
I'm
I don't want to tear it out.
I'm so
No.
sorry. What's really funny, this is super random, but I just thought about it when I was like looking
Mm-hmm.
up like this. So there's tons of different ways, like if you're talking to like a transphobe, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
but you're a man because you have like what chromosomes is it? I don't even know my fucking chromosomes.
XY.
XY, you have XY chromosomes, or you have a dick, or something like that. Sometimes this is so random and
Mm-hmm.
rare, but it's one I can counter. They'll go,
What is
because
it?
you have an Adam's apple. And I'll go, I never got that shit. There's nothing here. I don't know why, but I never got mine.
You see,
So,
mine's
fuck
slight,
you.
but at the same time, it's like some cis women have those too.
Yeah, that's also another
The
thing.
fuck are you
a
talking
lot of
about?
women have those. There's also a lot of women who have dicks, but they don't care. Dude, there's like
Mhm.
there's nothing here. Look at this shit. Oh my god. Nothing. It's so cool.
Mhm.
It's so funny because I like how like all Republicans always like go to the trans argument. Like I'm talking about Jesse Lee Peterson, who's a nutcase. He's a fucking crazy. He's one of the craziest guys ever. Okay, I don't even want to say that because when he debates people, he's so nice. He's like genuinely so nice. Jesse Lee Peterson,
Mhm.
if you watch this,
Somehow.
you seem like a very nice person, and I would debate you. You seem nice. However, I highly disagree with his views because they are kind of a little kooky, you know.
Mhm.
He believes in some kooky. He thinks racism isn't real. He thinks it's a fake word. He thinks it's.
The fuck you mean fake word?
He's like it's just a made up
fuck
word.
you
It's like all words are
mean?
made up words, and he's like, yeah, but they have purpose. People just.
Yeah, no, we grew this word on the word tree outside.
and he,
Yeah, no,
Anyway.
this word is natural, homegrown, the.
real. I made a video on Jesse Lee Peterson. It's one of my biggest videos on my main channel. It blew the hell up. Blew
Hell
up by
yeah.
my standards, like 900 something views. All the awful like to dislike ratio. All the comments are standing Jesse Lee Peterson.
That's extremely funny.
Like it's not even like it's not. I can't even feel down about it. If it was like Ben Shapiro and all the comments were like, "No, Ben Shapiro's awesome," I'd be like, "Damn, I guess I got a lot of conservatives on my video. That kind of sucks." But this is like if I was like making fun of like Alex Jones and the entire comment section was like Alex Jones supporters. Like, no, that's just funny. That's just kind of funny. So anyway,
I feel like
I
even
remember,
then, right? People that like Ben Shapiro aren't normal people. You're allowed to bully them. There's
that-
not a moral.
You are talking
repercussion
about
for
my
that.
family right now.
I'm allowed to bully your family.
This is so sad. This is so sad, chat. Can you guys believe this? Can you guys believe this? I'm reading some of the
Their
comments.
opinion becomes invalid if they listen to the fucking
You wanna hear-
actually
you wanna
voice
hear-
motherfucker.
You want to hear one of the top comments with 8 likes?
Yes.
Beta
Please do
can't
share.
understand Jesse's point. Fun to watch him lose his mind. I said, Beta, you, my friend, are brainwashed. I haven't seen this one yet. This is new. I'm reading this for the first time. And then he responded, Nah, I can see you are suffering very clearly. You can't even accept the message. That's how far gone you are. What the fuck are you talking about? You're as bad as him. I'm saying that. Hold
Here's
on.
the funniest thing about like
What the fuck?
transphobic people, right? Is someone who is transphobic has never had a meaningful conversation with a trans person, because the second you start realizing that's a human person, is like, oh, the reason why they like are like this is because their experience, like, yeah, I'm a trans woman because I tried being a guy for a while and went, no,
Yeah.
I don't, no.
Meeting trans people, though, is like the #1 cure for transphobia. That's how it worked for me.
Legitimately. Like, actually, like, most transphobes, the second they have a real trans person that humanizes the trans experience, they're like, oh.
You want to hear these comments? Listen to this. This is another comment.
Okay,
These
what they say?
apparently Jesse's on this beta thing because everyone's calling me a beta. This guy said, "Hey,
That's
it's
extremely
me."
funny.
This guy said, "Hey, it's me." 2 spaces, the confused 2 spaces, beta 2 spaces kid, playing computer games all day. I said, go back to spending all day playing World of Warcraft because I saw that was all over his page. And then someone else responded to that saying, "Yo, Peter." Oh, Peter's the guy who said it originally, and this guy said, "Yo, Peter, your profile screams Peter or beta Lamau." This is so awesome. You paint your nails? I do. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that one because that person just brought up the L self-harm stuff as a roast. This one is beta. You are who he's talking about.
Imagine. It's like, that is your only defense. Hey, so I know that you just spent the past 20 minutes saying, yeah, this guy's wrong. Well, you don't get sex, so...
Literally, I made an entire 11-minute video explaining why everything this guy was saying was wrong, and everyone in the comments, like, this guy, at least he knows what a woman is, ...
When are you gonna tell them that you have... How many girlfriends do you have again?
10.
Well, there we go. Yeah, 10.
Thank you.
Okay, actually responding with, bitches, I have more girlfriends right now than you've had in your entire life. Shut the fuck up.
That's a good... I'm using that. I actually responded to that with, Republicans could hear some right-wing nut say the moon is flat and still say, but at least he knows what a woman is. The moon is flat is like one of my favorite things that I've come up with, to be honest. I love the moon is flat because we can see it.
The moon is literally flat. Have you seen its render model before?
It's render. Oh my god, my hair is growing so much quicker.
Render model is so fucking redundant, and that is so much funnier.
I know, because like at least like the Earth is
Render
flat.
model.
It's like there's a little bit of logic there, just the tiniest bit.
No.
The moon is flat. There's a little bit.
Have you ever tried explaining gravity?
Yeah, they think it's fake. No, what I mean by there's a little bit of logic is like you can like walk outside and step on land and be like, wow, that feels kind of flat. Obviously the world's big enough so it's gonna feel flat,
Yeah,
and gravity is
it's
sucking towards the middle.
any singular point is gonna seem flat relative of like its surroundings.
My point is if you spawned on this Earth out of nowhere like a baby, looked around, you'd probably be like, oh, this Earth seems flat. I'm assuming the Earth is flat. That's what you would assume. You wouldn't assume it's round right off the bat. Or at least you wouldn't assume it's round, right? You might not assume it's flat, but you wouldn't assume it's round. If you look at the moon, you go, oh, that's a big circle in the sky. You can't really
But sometimes
debate
it looks
that.
like someone took a bite out of it.
That's true. God was hungry. God was hungry.
God, the moon cycles because God eats the moon.
And you take the moon. Okay, wait. This guy said. Okay, so I clicked on this guy's profile when he roasted me, and I saw he like kept posting about like he's beat up Camaro and bragging about it. And he said, when the acne clears up, come talk to us. Puberty is a hella drug. And I said, my face will always look better than your Camaro. And bro has not responded to me.
Oh, they died. You killed them.
This guy said, obvious beta is obvious beta.
What does that mean?
I'm obviously a
does that
beta.
mean?
It means I'm obviously a beta.
Clip this entire section and put that as a response video.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Responding to my comments, and it's just the podcast.
Wait, 1 second. Hold
Oh
on.
my god.
I'm explaining why I'm typing after I'm typing real quick.
Okay. Sure.
My mother said, "Don't joke about God." And I said, because I'm assuming she heard me, and I said the moon looks like that because God took a bite out of it.
Eat shit, bro. I'm allowed to make fun of God as much as I want.
I don't know if she can hear you right now. I'm gonna be real with you. I turned you so low when I got that is unbelievable. I can barely hear you myself right now. But I can hear you, don't worry.
God is a cuck.
Bro! Nuh-uh. Yeah. And where's my Bible? I need to read it.
All I'm saying, have you ever seen God have sex?
Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Do you think anyone makes God porn?
I've seen it, yes. Look,
That
okay.
is extremely funny.
Look, chat. Look. This is a little... Look. Look.
Uh-huh.
Look.
Yeah?
Chat.
Yeah? Yeah?
This is why I wanted to do it when I was home alone. Kind of funnier that I can't say anything and that I'm constantly paranoid about what you're saying. Give you that.
I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with this.
I'm scared. I'm turning you down even lower.
Oh my god.
Can you believe her, chat?
I'm sorry, it's funny.
Chat.
Don't worry, most of our audience probably has religious trauma anyway. It's
I mean,
funny
yeah,
to
they
them.
won't mind. Oh my god, I need to keep my 49-day streak on Duolingo going before the night ends.
Do you think we're ready to wrap up the filming session then?
Oh, I don't... Do you want to? Is that like a... I don't care. I can do it
I
afterwards.
feel like it's a good enough segue, and I feel like we've been going for a decent bit.
This was a long one. This is definitely our longest solo one for sure. Yeah, an hour and 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready then? You done?
Yep. Thank you so much for watching.
That was a really good episode. I like that. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. That was fun to record.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming along and
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see you all next time. Could you please tell us what the next episode's going to be, actually?
with easy.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I don't know that
Looking
we don't have
forward
a
to that
title
one.
for it yet.
We'll tell you guys when we come up with one. When you see it, it'll go live next week.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry if you're religious.
It's fine if they're religious. They're not going to click on something called Communism Podcast anyway.
That's
they're
true.
too far brainwashed by alt-right stuff.
That's true. All right. Thank you for watching. Peace out.
Thank you so much for watching. See ya, chat.
You fucking fat.